Is it jammies or jammies?
Whatever way you want to say.
Okay, jammies for June, pajamas for June, which is a very, very, really important cause. We know what it's all about. Can you just remind those plugging in this morning your purpose around jammies for June?
So the Middlemore Foundation serve Middlemore Hospital and its community, and Middlemore Hospital serves one of the highest deprivation communities, also the most joyful and wonderful and awesome communities as well. But there are a lot of children out there that go to bed, if they're lucky enough to have a bed, unfortunately, cold in damp houses. And no way to kind of keep themselves warm. So 12 years ago, the Middlemore Foundation embarked on this journey of ensuring that we can get lovely, warm, new pyjamas out to as many children in our community as we can. And in the last few years, we've been lucky enough to have Dame Valerie Adams as our ambassador. She's phenomenal, and she's really lifted the whole game, including the targets, as you can imagine, from an elite athlete as herself.
Yeah.
And so, so she set us the target this year of getting 20,000 jammies for 20,000 children.
She said it.
Yep. She did it.
Okay.
So once she does
That's
it, we
awesome.
have to do it.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. That's really cool. So, she's the commander of the Jammy Army, which
Yes,
I
she
think.
is.
So you have
Very
to go
good.
Jammies if you're going to rhyme
Very
it with Jammy Army. Now, how many did you do last year? Because it's not the first time you've done this.
Exactly. So, I mean, we were kind of sitting for years around the kind of the 8 to 10, and in the last few years we've managed to creep up. And last year we actually got 22,000.
Wow.
So she sort of, we were aiming for 15, and we got
Oh,
22.
wow.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
it'll be exciting to see how many come through this year. Where you're at so far, because I know it's already running.
Yeah, we're just over the 10,000 already, so we're halfway there. And
that's good.
So we've actually got a wee bit more than that now. But what happens, so a lot of people give their cash donations in the early part of the campaign, which enables us to go out and buy jammies, particularly for the schools that we partner with.
Yeah.
And that now what people are doing is the ones who have kind of formed their jammy squads and things are bringing in their
Squads.
I know, are bringing their jammies into Middlemore Hospital. So there's a lot of squads out there.
Okay, so if you want to look up the website, jammiesforjune.org.nz, you'll see all the details there. So like you said, you can donate just cash if you just want to make a contribution, which is great, and then you guys can purchase them. And I imagine you must are there companies that you're dealing with that give you a good rate on them to try and, if you're buying bulk?
Not as good as we would have liked, to be honest.
Oh, come on, suppliers. What are you making profit off
I know.
kids?
But
Come
to
on.
be fair, what they're doing, which I think is actually quite nice, is that they've just lowered the retail price across the board.
Yeah.
So we buy the jammies from, say, somewhere like the Warehouse or Postie Plus at a price that a few years ago might have been double what that is. They've brought it down to around $10.
Oh, well,
So-
that's great.
That's
good for everybody then.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's one way to do it. But then people can also donate pajamas.
Yes, they can.
What are the rules around that?
They do need to be new,
Yeah.
Brand new?
preferably brand new.
Okay.
Yeah, because
okay.
the idea is that we want to have these children in lovely, warm, new pajamas, and it's such a treat. You know, particularly in the hospital, we give not just the child that's been in hospital, but all their siblings as well, just to leave hospital knowing that they've got that lovely, warm pair of jammies that they can put on.
What's the age group that you're looking at? Because you're saying kids, but what are we talking about here?
Well, we go from babies, like
Okay.
little brand new babies, and we want to ensure that everybody, and we go all the way up to 12, so that's in our
Okay.
primary schools. But of course, there are some bigger kids as well. So so the sizes that we're really keen on getting are the baby sizes. We're not getting as many of those as we would like, and then the adult larges as well, because there are some big munty boys out there that need their jammies too.
Munty. Oh, man. If I had someone call me Munty when I was 12, I'd feel like a king. Oh, I love that. Okay, it's 8:30. We've got to get to some news headlines, but more with Margie Malsop, who's the CEO of the Middlemore Foundation, coming up next. We're talking jammies for June. Great initiative getting pajamas, warm pajamas out to kids who need them, particularly in South Auckland and through the sort of Middlemore Hospital connection, right?
Yes.
You're looking to get 20,000 either sponsored. You can make a donation at jammiesforjune.org.nz, or you can purchase pajamas yourself and then donate physically. You find the locations and things like that on the website. Can we talk a little bit about the the illnesses from sleeping cold and being in, these damp places, what does it lead on to for a lot of these kids in terms of like health outcomes?
Oh, it can go on for a child's life right through until they die, unfortunately, particularly if it's not caught early. So respiratory illness is bad, obviously. Then, of course, there's rheumatic fever, which really is a disgrace that we have the large numbers of rheumatic fever in New Zealand. And that is obviously about living in a cold, damp house, overcrowded often. So anything that we can do to ensure that families are not having to do that. And, of course, when you've got a family that's on a bit of a huge budget, they're going to do things like feed their child is the most important thing that they want to do. And electricity becomes the sort of the third or the fourth or the fifth because they can just blank it up or they can just, deal with it. And in their mind, they can deal with it. And they can live as long as they've got a house, then that's great. But they don't realise that, the dampness in the house, the cold of the house is actually impacting the child's health. So we're trying to... we work alongside other organisations to kind of bring that impact of cold, damp houses to minimise that. Particularly, I set a goal a few years ago when I was at a kind of energy poverty conference. Like, let's make sure that any child that leaves this hospital, Middlemore Hospital, with respiratory illness doesn't need to come back again. So that was a big ask, and I got MSD and AFI Healthy Homes and Mercury Energy together to see what we could do to alleviate, to maybe meet that goal. And we're setting off on a pilot now where the energy retailers are working together with AFI and with MSD to ensure that when a mother or a father or a guardian takes their child back home, they know that their electricity bill can be sorted in terms of the heating of the house. So that's what we're trying to do at this stage, and then making sure that that AFI then come in and they'll do a Healthy Homes check, and then they will, and if there is any benefits that a family is able for, then they will navigate towards that with MSD.
Obviously, it's part of this is a small fix for a bigger problem.
Yeah.
But I can't help but think, both Bjorn and I have got children as well, and mine are a little bit older, but they were once young, and you go back to when they were young and think there's no way you would want your own kids to go without warm clothing, right? But I also love hearing about the impact of good within communities and within initiatives such as Jammies for June. And some stories must have stuck with you on the ripple effect that not only this gift, it's a gift of a pair of pajamas, but it means a lot more to families. Can you share some of those stories that some people have given you?
Yeah. I mean, as I said, one of the most immediate ones is the complete look of joy and surprise when a child is given a pair of pajamas, be it at the school or at particularly in the hospital, particularly in that high stress situation where the child has been in hospital because they are. They have a respiratory illness, and then they're not just given a pair of brand new pajamas, but all of the siblings are also given a brand new pair of pajamas, which is just, really joyful and lovely. But then you also, you hear, like, there's a little boy whose story we share, Kingy. He's got respiratory illness in quite a significant way, which means he has to come back to hospital at least every 8 months or so. He now gathers his pajamas and puts them all together. But with this other initiative that we're talking about, what was happening was that the entire family were just living in one room because that was to try and keep him warm and themselves warm. That was the room that they were heating. But by having this other initiative, it's meant that people are now able to kind of spread out a wee bit more. The ability to kind of refresh their laundry, all of those types of things. So anything that we can do at Middlemore Foundation to ensure that our community and our children and our whānau are able to not just have a better stay in hospital, because that's obviously a key thing for us, but also prevent them needing to come into hospital is really important.